Okay, so we're having some funkiness today. I just had to do 4 drivers updates. I don't actually know if it's live. Says we is. Okay, we're live. Welcome back, everybody. Not exactly sure when that stream stopped. I know when it told me it stopped, but doesn't mean that's when it stopped. You fucking honk. What do you want back there? Getting all worked up. No, not too bad, actually.
Trump insults Canada and says Canada can't subsist or exist as a nation without America. But it's not fair for us to be supporting Canada. And if we don't support them, they don't subsist
When even YouTube can hear the bullshit.
boycott of all things American in Canada is still going strong, and it will start showing economy. The older I get, the more I find myself wanting to be more intentional about the way I live, eat, and take care of my body. That's why I'm so happy I found Mosh.
So,
Mosh, which you may have heard about on
the idea that Canada couldn't exist without the Americans,
with a simple mission to create a conversation about
that's fucking
education,
1 wrong,
Maria's father,
2 pretty stupid.
She and Patrick have dedicated themselves to finding ways to help other families dealing with this debilitating disease. Mosh joined forces with the world's top scientists and functional nutritionists to go beyond your average protein bar. With 8 delicious flavors, including a plant-based one in peanut butter and chocolate, each Mosh bar is made with ingredients that support brain health, like ashwagandha, lion's mane, collagen.
We don't subsidize Canada.
Now, Mosh bars come
Never have. I don't know what that's about.
featuring a game-changing brain-boosting ingredient.
Really don't.
Mosh is now the first and only brain-boosting with vitamins and premium nootropic that supplies the brain with a focusing. Here's the best part: to make you feel good, Mosh donates a portion of all proceeds from your order to fund gender-based brain health research through the Women's Alzheimer's Movement. Why gender-based? Because 2/3 of all Alzheimer's patients are women. Mosh is working closely to close the gap between women and men's health research. Personally, I love the taste of my Mosh bars. My favorite is the peanut butter crunch, which I have each morning before I head off to the gym. If you want to find ways to get back to others and fuel your body and your brain, Mosh bars are the perfect choice for you. Moshlife.com/Midas to save 20% off plus free shipping on the bestseller trial pack. That's 20% off plus free shipping on the bestseller trial pack at moslife.com/Midas. Thank you, Mosh, for sponsoring this episode. Here's number one points out as well. Not to gross y'all out, but it's not just the bruise on Trump's hand. These are not the fingernails of a healthy man. The
No.
White House issued an official statement yesterday saying that all of these bruises and discoloration on his hands, and what that looks like is because he shakes so many hands every day, is what they're saying. You and Marjorie Taylor Greene, MAGA Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was too scared to allow Democratic Congressmember Jared Moskowitz at the DOJ hearings, she rejected his request to attend. So here she talks about, though, how federal workers need to get real jobs. They don't deserve their paychecks. They're not really working real jobs. She says, play this clip. You can protest all you want out.
And yeah, she's been saying that bullshit. Excuse me, Miss Green? Those are real jobs or even careers. Matter of fact, it was just passed that those people now have their full retirement benefits and whatnot. So, I'm sorry, Miss Green, but what are you smoking? And maybe you should stop. Thank you.
Side of departments of this government. You can protest all you want, but the American people disagree with you. You're protecting the bureaucracy. The bureaucracy is not a business. Those are not real jobs producing federal revenue. By the way, they're consuming taxpayer dollars. Those jobs are paid for by the American tax people who work real jobs.
Oh, bro, it was horrible. I just had to go back through and fight with my computer because I had to do 4 fucking graphics drivers updates. That's how come the stream cut out. Right now, my internet's going really good. We've been getting 5 up at the moment. Which doesn't happen too often at the moment. So, yeah. Fucking graphics drivers updates came in. Really knocked the server down. I'm not really happy about it. Yeah, with the way that it was running last night, I can't say I blame you. All I know is AMD, Radeon, need to get their shit fixed. I'm tired of multiple fucking drivers updates every day. This is ridiculous. Never had this. Never. It fucks with the internet, it fucks with streaming. Oh, fuck, man.
Earn real income, pay federal taxes, and then pay these federal employees. Federal employees do not deserve their jobs. Federal employees do not deserve their paychecks. And these are jobs that can't be fired at will. Yeah, when did it become so normal to just insult hardworking Americans? I don't get it. I mean, what? Yeah, just because that you're not on TV, that means that someone who works at our national parks is not good enough for MAGA? The person who works in the Department of Education or Department of Labor or Department of Agriculture or USAID or the people who work at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau or whatever government entity, because why if they don't get on TV, so they're not glamorous, that means they're not real workers. I mean, who talks about human beings in that way? Oh, MAGA. The same MAGA that is shaking.
Ben, those are the same people that talk shit about people on disability, retirement.
Now, President Zelensky of Ukraine for a rare earth deal. So we've been covering on the Midas Touch Network all of Donald Trump's fake deals, right? Where Donald Trump said that he got this great deal with Canada to avoid the initial tariffs. Donald Trump says he's bringing tariffs in the United States. It's Canada, but remember, the deal
No.
2 pounds or something like over the whole year. There's not a lot of fentanyl coming in at all. And then the deal with Mexico, the fake deal, where Claudia Sheinbaum, the president of Mexico, said, "Okay, Donald, we'll put 10,000 troops at the border." And Trump's like, "Deal, look what I've achieved." There were already 15,000 troops at the border. 15,000 is more than 10,000. Then Donald Trump made the fake deals with like Colombia and Panama, and so on and so forth. So Donald Trump was like shaking down Zelensky for this rare earth mineral deal, where rare earth minerals from Ukraine would be shared with the United States with no security guarantees. But here's what we know about the deal now. Hillary go from independent says it perfectly. It's like a fake deal. So essentially, the rare earth agreement is just a memorandum on how the U.S. and Ukraine are intended to invest in Ukraine's mining industry and mineral resources and jointly get profits at some point. There's 0% certainty on whether this will ever be a real big thing. The document doesn't even require parliamentary ratification at this moment now. Donald Trump will declare a grandiose victory as soon as Zelensky signs this in front of cameras in D.C., and essentially that's it. Pomerenko goes on to say this is also grotesquely dumb and so surreally opposite to basic human morality that one can't believe it's even real. It motivates many to try to look for a second agenda, to try to read between the lines and make it to a far larger truth, but I'm afraid the answer is very simple. MAGA Mike Johnson on CNN is being asked here. So this was a good question by Caitlin Collins. She asked MAGA Mike Johnson, so, if you're saying that Doge is finding all of these, fraud and abuse, then why would you support a continuing resolution to keep the government funded with fraud and abuse? Here, play this clip.
Certainly an absurd notion. But
how long would that CR go, do you believe?
Well, we haven't negotiated that yet. But if it's a CR, it may be an entire year-long CR with some anomalies on it. You know how all this works. But it's not what we prefer. We would like to do individual appropriations bills, but it takes both parties to negotiate that. And right now, the Democrats are trying to, it looks like, trying to set up a government shutdown. We can't allow that to happen. And we won't.
Well, you just talked about how important the work that Elon Musk is doing is. If you pass a continuing resolution, won't that just refund all the programs that he says he's cutting that are full of waste, fraud, and abuse?
No, look, that's why I say you add anomalies to a CR. You can increase some spending, you can decrease some spending, you can add language that says, for example, the dramatic changes that have been made to USAID would be reflected in the ongoing spending. It would be a clean CR, mostly, I think, but with some of those changes to adapt to the new realities here. And the new reality is less government, more efficiency, a better return for the taxpayers. And I think that's something everybody should welcome.
Should be noted that the Doge amongst the American people is like the number one entity that Americans want to see abolished by far. Oh yes, then there's a new proposal that was released yesterday by a MAGA Republican Congressmember Wilson to make Donald Trump the first and only living current or former president to be featured on currency. They want to put him on a $250 bill. And they said it's the most valuable currency, and they said he's the most valuable president. That's what the MAGA Republican Congress members are spending their time to, as Elon Musk and his team raid your private information, gain access to your social security, tax records, medical information, as they gut our government services, as our markets are so volatile right now, as Donald Trump is posting about Trump Gaza and having America join an axis of evil of Russia, of North Korea, Belarus, to oppose the United Nations resolutions condemning Russia's unlawful invasion of Ukraine. What are we talking about here, folks?
Call the madman. They're not the kind that can be good. Just stay there again.
This is not a statement. What food allowance card is available for those on Medicare? This card.
Donald Trump keeps poking Canada. Big mistake, Donald. That ridiculous happening he had yesterday. Here's what he said. Let's play it. It's not fair for us to be supporting Canada, and we don't subsist as a nation. I'm here with Canadian Member of Parliament Charlie Angus. You saw what he was saying yesterday in the cabinet meeting. What's your response to him?
You know, I think the thing in Canada is we're just getting really tired of this. This guy's a convicted felon. He's a sexual predator. He just keeps poking us. He turned what could have been a really fun game. I mean, nothing better than a good hockey rivalry. He turned it into a hate fest. And Canadians were determined we were going to win that. My sense on the ground right now is whether he brings tariffs or not, we're in this to win. We're in this to push back. So every time Donald pushes us, it actually is destroying what's left of Mega Maple in Canada, and it's making everyone else say, yeah, okay, he wants to fight? I'm up for it. I got little old lady grandmothers who are telling me they're going to do whatever they got to do. They're going to fight because Donald just doesn't get it. The more he pushes, the more determined we are to push back.
That's Jeremiah nonsense, and this is what.
As I've said multiple times, Canada has been called America's psychotic hat for a reason. Don't push the psycho. Don't poke him. He's chill until he's not chill no more. And when he's not chill no more, you're fucked. What is so hard about that to understand?
The most astonishing polling charts I've ever seen. Trump's impact on Canadian politics is insane. You see the support of Maple MAGA crashing. That's the Pierre Poilievre Conservative Party. And now you see under a Mark
Cut it out.
Liberal Party, your NDP party, but under the Carney Party, the Liberal Party now seems like they're on the verge of being able to form a government, potentially, which no one thought, if you went back 2 or 3 months ago, was a possibility. Have you ever seen anything like you've been in Canadian politics for a long time? Have you ever seen anything like this?
Well, I do want to say that I've been feeling for a long time that this Mega Maple thing in Canada was going to run its course. The fact that it's dropped as dramatically as it has, thanks, Donald. You've done us a favor. Because Pierre Poilievre and his politics are toxic. It's hate politics. It's the pitchfork politics of blame and hate and rage. And I always felt that Canadians were going to go there. But once Elon Musk tells Canadians how much he likes Pierre Poilievre, well, you can bet that that's going to kill the conservative brand. And they don't know what to do right now, so they're scrambling. Whether or not Mark Carney is going to be fully ascended, I don't know. But what I think is we're going to see the conservative numbers Canada drop a lot more because people are looking at Project 2025. They're looking at the rage and destruction that Donald Trump is unleashing and the alienation that he's creating around the world. And Canadians are thinking, okay, so if this is what MAGA looks like, there's no damn way we're going to vote for it in Canada. So he's certainly damaged his allies in Canada. But then who are his real allies? It looks like his real allies are North Korea and Russia. There would have been a time that any American leader wanted to side with Russia, North Korea would have been obviously identified as a traitor to the nation and a traitor to American values. And now CNN saying, oh, he's being unorthodox. So Donald's picking his allies in the world, and it's certainly alienating real allies. Canada is not going to go that way.
Talk about this petition to revoke Elon Musk's citizenship in Canada that you've been supporting. I think it's going to be one of the most widely distributed and signed petitions in the history of Canada in general. Tell us about what's going on.
Well, the great thing about petition about stripping Elon Musk, who's never been a Canadian, of his citizenship, I thought, okay, support that. Now, I know for a fact that a petition does not have the legal power to strip a citizenship from anybody, nor should it. But what this does is it sends a message, because Canadians in their DNA hate extremists and fascists. It's inbred in our bone. I call it the Juno Beach from D-Day gene that's within all Canadians. So when we see Elon Musk giving the Nazi salute at the Trump inauguration, we see him supporting far-right extremists in Germany, when we see him saying that Canada isn't even a real country, just like Putin said Ukraine wasn't a country, you can bet the Canadians think, this guy doesn't represent anything of our values. So what's happened was a petition that I thought might get a couple of thousand signatures. I don't know, we're above the 300,000 mark, which is unprecedented. We will be perhaps the largest petition in Canadian history, and it's sending a message to our government that we don't want to have any dealings with this guy. We want to make sure that our election system cannot be interfered with by X. We don't want any more deals with Starlink. We don't want Tesla and the douchebags that he's bringing over the border. Canadians are
Ooh, I like that.
This petition
That
has gone up.
I really do kind of like that over the swastika. Douche Panzer? I mean, only problem, well, Panzer was a German tank, primarily used by... But still, it fits! Calling Tesla's douche panzers? I like it. I very much like it. I mean, swastika is pretty good, but a douche panzer? Come on. Canada got that one right.
Like wildfire. And what it reminds, I think it's really important to understand, ordinary Canadians are way up front on this fight. Politicians are catching up, they're still scratching their heads, they're not sure what they should do. Ordinary Canadians get it. We're going to fight for democracy, we're going to fight for our values, and we're going to fight against tyranny. And when that fight's on the table, that's when Canadians show up.
What if I told you for just $1 down? Jump in for no money down. You can get a PlayStation 4. My Touch podcast is the #1 most downloaded podcast in all of Canada, in all of the Canadian news channels and entertainment channels. So where can people find, a lot of Canadian listeners and viewers, if they want to join this petition and are not already signed on, what do they do?
It's really important. I think what Midas Touch has been doing in Canada is really important work, because again, nothing against the traditional media, but I think they live in a box and they're uncomfortable stepping outside the box. But we know they get very dark times and dealing with, basically fascist threats, and so people are looking for clear answers. And it's been really amazing in my journey as a member of Parliament, particularly representing a large working class constituency. Ordinary working class voters stop me in the grocery store. They're watching the Midas Touch because they understand the seriousness of this issue. So, to support the Get Rid of Elon Musk Out of Canada petition, all you got to do is type in Elon Musk citizenship petition, and it'll take you to it. We're adding thousands and thousands of members or petitions by the day, and I'm hoping some of our American friends might think of a similar petition, because look at the chaos he's causing with Doge. This guy is not any of our friends. He's not a friend of democracy. Let's kick his rear end back to South Africa.
Damn right.
Talk about Wayne Gretzky, who used to be a friend.
If anyone needs to go back to Africa, it's Elon Musk. Send that white motherfucker packing. Send him back to South Africa. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. You can take his douche panzers with him.
Of Canada used to be beloved, used to be Canada's golden boy, and then he went full MAGA, would hang out in Mar-a-Lago, became became a Trumper, not just, he wasn't Maple Maggie, but he was like America. He was rooting to be 51st state type stuff. And then Donald Trump was saying that Gretzky should become basically the leader of Canada, become his puppet, and then basically run it the way Putin runs his nations in his orbit, like Belarus. It would basically be that version, and Gretzky was all into it. Then Gretzky started showing up to hockey games and was getting in Canadian gear. By the way, NHL doing that. I'm not sure that was a great decision, but you know why they did that. But then Gretzky would get booed by Canadians, and Gretzky can't walk around Canada now without getting booed, and one of the most contested people. So Donald Trump had to post this because I'm sure Gretzky's like, hey, I need you to write this for me, I need some cred back. So Trump just wrote this. He goes, Wayne Gretzky's a fantastic guy. They call him the Great One. He could run for any political office in Canada and win. Wayne is my friend, and he wants to make me happy, and is therefore somewhat low-key about Canada remaining a separate country rather than becoming a cherished and beautiful 51st state, paying much lower taxes, a free and powerful military, no tariffs, and having a booming economy. Wayne and Janet, his wonderful wife, love Canada, and they should
We all
always
know who will
support
never see in a
Canada.
box of
Whoever
weeds
else
again.
makes the Canadian people, and Governor Trudeau happy. He's the greatest Canadian of them all. And I am therefore making him a free agent because I don't want anyone in Canada to say anything bad about him. Charlie, is your response to that?
Wow. I guess if you're Canadian, you know how important Wayne Gretzky was to us. You know, when
Yeah,
Wayne
no
Gretzky was
shit.
traded from Edmonton to LA, my wife was giving birth. During the birth, I was upstairs cheering for LA because we felt that the betrayal of his team and selling him to LA, that we had to support LA because we loved Wayne Gretzky. I came down when my wife was just about to give birth to say that Wayne had scored. Okay, maybe I'm not a bad great dad, but I should have admitted that. But that's how much important Wayne was. People are really angry at Wayne. And
Not
so
surprised.
every time Donald touches something, he turns it to crap. So the simple thing for Wayne is, Wayne, if you're quiet,
God, it's almost as if something we've been saying for 8 years is coming to find out to be true. Huh. Funny that. As Midas Touch Network here has deemed it, Donald Trump's anti-Midas Touch. Or reverse Midas. No, that doesn't quite work. Well, I mean, in his mind it works, and he's that delusional. Yeah, there we go. It's reverse Midas. Everything he touches, he thinks he adds value, but he just destroys it. So that still works. But, like almost every one of Trump's businesses, trashed. Left as a big heaping pile of shit. Including a fucking casino! I mean, put it quite simply, in the business world, owning a casino is the same idea as owning a bank. It's one of those, how do you bankrupt a casino? And from the sounds of things, it wasn't honesty. Which would be the one way I could see to bankrupt a casino, other than just embezzling funds from it. No, wait. Trump's been caught doing what again?
about Canada being a 51st state, you're a traitor. It's Vimy or Vichy, as we say in Canada. Vimy is the great battle, but we're the collaborators. So Wayne, sovereignty. So it's a simple message either way. Don't ask Donald to tell Canadians that you want to be quiet. You stand up and tell us whether or not you're a traitor or you believe in Canada. I think every Canadian wants to hear that answer. We haven't heard that from the great one yet.
Finally, usually in our interviews with this, we know that Trump's press team watches that, they clip this stuff and whatever. So if you want to direct a message to Donald Trump right now, what's your message to him as we're recording this as we are starting to?
Oh yeah, I guess I did kind of leave that part out when I was explaining where my news source was and where it comes from. Yeah, no, Trump's people actually watch and clip Midas. And yeah, they don't like it. There's a few times that Ben has been the reason Trump's had to rephrase shit. There's a few times where Michael Cohen, from his show over here on Midas Touch, Mea Culpa, has made Trump rephrase his shit. Once again, anyone who thinks Trump is a strong man, not in any sense of the word. Trump is a weak, scared, cowardice bully. Take it from an anti-bully. I know the target when I see it. I've not had the misfortune or fortune of personally seeing it happen. It's probably a good thing, honestly. Yeah, I wouldn't stay quiet.
To the month of March.
Well, Donald, you're telling us that we're getting the tariff threats, blah, blah. Canadians are saying, okay, bring it on. Like, you want to fight? We're going to fight. But you have made America sign up with Russia and North Korea. At one point, that would have been considered the act of an absolute traitor.
Still
how do you
is.
defend to the American people your absolute betrayal of your allies? 80 years of American leadership on the global stage that you're willing to give that up and kiss up. If you think that Canada is going to break right now, it's going to hurt us. We know it's going to hurt. But we're ready because we are a unified nation. We have values. We're a democratic country. We believe in law. And you don't believe in any of those things at all. So I don't know if you're going to call Vladimir and get an opinion on whether you should bring tariffs in or not. But you bring in the tariffs, we're coming at you. We're going to come at you hard. And my message to the American voter is you're going to be in for a big surprise at the damage that your leader is doing economically, socially, geopolitically, and of course, democratically. So
I wish I would.
It's in your court.
I've
We
been
can't tell
following
you
it
not to
closely.
bring tariffs, but if you bring them, we're coming at you, and we're going to come at you in the Canadian way, which is what we've always done. When push comes to shove, we don't back down. We never have. Never, ever kiss against your ring.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Once again, we are talking about a kingpin style villain. Completely and utterly. Same is to be said for Vladimir Putin. And even Elon Musk. You are not watching the rise of a strong leader. You're watching the rise of a dictator. A kingpin. Cartel and a mafia. I don't know how many of you have been around these people before, or have an understanding of how these people work/behave. It's not pleasant. It's not decent. It's not civil. There is so much outward falsehood with these people to some extent and don't know how to lie anymore. Which might sound a little weird to say or hear. But when their lies are so often and so numerous, it stops being any kind of return in the conscious sector, if they even had a conscience to begin with.
Influencers and politicians are rushing to delete their tweets after they were caught lying about what was in the budget resolution passed by House Republicans last night. Congresswoman Angelina Luna, for example, she tweeted yesterday, "Congratulations, America! Tonight we finally put an end to tax on tips and tax on overtime. Except there was one problem. That was a complete and total lie." And so she was fact-checked by Twitter, by the community notes, people saying that no, that in fact did not include provisions for no tax on tips or no tax on overtime. Also, that wasn't even the full bill. Nothing actually passed. It was just a resolution putting forth targets of what they ultimately wanted. And that tweet has now been deleted. That influencer account and wokeness got caught in the same exact lie, writing, "Breaking House GOP passes budget bill, which ends taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security. Promises made, promises kept." And that was deleted as well. But not before it racked up over 6 million views. So MAGA was trying to position this resolution, which is going to try to push forward more than $4.5 trillion in tax cuts for the wealthy, and adding $19 trillion to the deficit over 10 years as some sort of bill for the common man. Well, they got caught. And some of these accounts that lied about it still have these tweets up to the second. They are quite literally scamming their own base, yet their base doesn't seem to realize it or doesn't care. We're going to be following everything that's going on, so make sure you follow our account for more and the Mighty Session podcast on Apple and Spotify. Stay tuned.
Last one. Legal AF. Oh, sure.
As you can just see, resistance by federal workers and giving support to each other takes many formats. It's sort of like when we've seen historic regime change, where state-run television just runs on a loop like Swan Lake or classical music. Now, federal workers ordered back to their jobs, back to their remote work by Elon Musk and Donald Trump were greeted in at least one federal agency by that very image of an AI, I think it's AI, generated video of Donald Trump sucking Elon Musk's toes with "Long Live the Real King" emblazoned over it. That is a sign of federal workers in solidarity against a depraved and failing Trump administration. For the full-length version of that hot take, click the link below. For the full-length version of that hot
We
take,
just did that one. Why did you still have it as a notification? That's what we have for today. Literally today. We are listening to today's news. But yeah, there's a lot of hinky shit going on, and we as a people need to stand up to it because it's not okay. It's just not. All right. I need to end the news stream and bathroom break. All that good shit. You fucking huh. Well, this is a little bit earlier than normal, so let's go ahead and have a little chit chat. Any questions on anything political, or I won't call it all political because it's not, or anything involving Trump, Elon? Please, don't be afraid. Got any questions on who I am, what I do here, or even what the segment scenario is about? Please, be my guest. Oh. Shit that's going on is not a joke. Not small beans. Not even close. As a matter of fact, there's a beanstalk. There's a giant up there. And Trump and Elon are fucking with the giant. They ain't gonna bring down the giant. They want to. They think there's some golden goose there. Well, they might not be wrong. But, that goose is a metaphor. That goose shouldn't actually be producing golden eggs. For real. Itchy puppy. Itchy puppy. I mean, quite literally, stay up the beanstalk looking for this golden goose that lays golden eggs. I don't know about any gooses, but there's some chickens up there that lay eggs. They ain't gold. As a matter of fact, they're being devastated by bird flu. So, Dad's a little pissed already. Got such a long, demanding list from the humans down below, the tiny humans. They want their eggs. Supposedly. But they sent Trump and Elon up the fucking beanstalk to get the giant. You alright? You okay? Excuse me. Yeah, you're good? Alright. Well, I guess there's no questions. So, I'll do my typical outro for this one. I'm an anti-religion kind of person. But this is the time where, if there was ever a time to be praying, now it's the time. No matter who your deities are, what your beliefs are, send those vibes out, people. Pray people supporting Trump come up prayer, and they see what's actually going on. For one that doesn't tell people to pray, pray like your fucking life depends on it, because, you know, it very much could. And I don't like saying that. I don't. Not at all. Anyways, that's today's newscast. Pray to your deities that they come up prayer, and we can stop this. It's absolute lunacy. I mean, this is insanity straight up. These are the actions of a mad person. If anything, you guys are installing a mad king. And let's be clear, mad kings do not have a good history. Anyways, pray. Send the vibes out if you don't pray. Make sure the universe feels how you feel it. If you gotta do rash shit, don't hurt people physically. That's going to include if they've got medical equipment, don't hurt it. As much as you may want to, do not cause physical pain. This is not something their physical pain will do the job. Unless it's directly applied in massive amounts. And let's not go there. That's a lot of extra work on highly guarded targets. Highly guarded hard targets. Let's not do that. For real. If you gotta go be rash, millionaires got yachts and mansions and shit. Help them do their part for trickle down. Because obviously, letting them have the ability to decide when they're going to do it doesn't work. Yeah, if anyone hadn't realized, trickle down economics has been alive from the beginning. I don't want to go into that one right now. Trickle-down economics is bullshit. Don't even think about trusting it. If you haven't realized it by now. And I know there's a lot on the right side of politics that haven't even realized that trickle-down doesn't work. Those of you on the right side of politics that are still huffy with us, you need to realize we do have a common enemy. We can see it. We know it. We know who's hurting you. It's not us. Though you're complaining about us as they're hurting you. We want to help you. But you keep yelling at us that we're the bad guys. Maybe you're not understanding what kind of bad guys we are, if we're the bad guys. Because if we're the bad guys, we're fucking Robin Hood, motherfucker. We want to take from the rich and give to the poor. Not the other way around. Y'all sitting there siding with the Sheriff of Nottingham. Getting taxed like a motherfucker. Meanwhile, you looking at us and bitching because we want to add a little bit. That helps everybody, including you. Especially with the fact that you're not going to be the primary ones that added comes from. I mean, are you making $500K a month? Some of you might be, but not many. There's not many of you making $500,000 a month. As far as the stimulus check that's supposed to be coming, I hear rumor that there will be stipulation that you have to make $40,000 a year to get it. I don't know still yet how accurate that is. I don't have a good source for it. Oh, I've got fucking Google for that tidbit. And I don't just trust Google at their word. Google's good about lying. Especially in headlines. Fucking A. Number of times that they tell you guys that those of us on disability are getting an increase, and we fucking don't get no goddamn increase. That's bullshit. Is infuriating. Because when you don't even get freaking $970 a month to live on, trying to rent an apartment or a room even, and still have enough to afford what you need to afford to live, that's a joke. That is a legitimate fucking joke. Those of us on disability actually have to get help. On top of being on disability and having disability help. Y'all need to stop thinking of disability as help. Disability is an entitlement of which we are all entitled to. There is qualifications for this entitlement. Just like there are qualifications for all other entitlements, including retirement. And I'm going to tell you now, most people who are on disability have tried being out in the workforce. Unless they went from a child on disability without ever losing it, they've already been in the workforce. They've given it a shot. Probably more than a shot. Because even me, being who I am, I fought and tried to work and tried to work and tried to work. You knew what you was doing. I didn't even get to actually press it. Yeah, dude, don't do that. Don't be an ass. Thank you. Yeah, you just, that, panting like that, you're not shaking the trailer. The other ways you've been panting, you've been shaking the trailer, like that right now. That's shaking the trailer. Yeah, you're getting the idea that I really don't want to use it, aren't you? You don't want me to, and I can see it. I can't blame you. I wouldn't be using the vibration feature on it right now. I'd just be using the beeper. Because I don't want to scare the shit out of you. Yeah, I don't want to scare the shit out of you. Had you not figured that out? Silly pup. But sun is starting to come out outside, making it nice and bright. So I'm going to end up popping the vent. Well, I have designed an internal vent cover for my roof vent. So it's got an external and an internal. Internal for insulation. Actually, I might get pretty warm today. Nice. 54 already. So, yeah. I don't know what to tell people other than y'all are smarter than this. For real. That does not sound good. Synchronization. Oh. Alright, y'all. I'll be back in a little bit. Midday chill. Not entirely sure what I'm doing yet. Might try to figure out what the fuck is going on with RuneScape. For some reason, I just keep getting a fucking black screen. I go to readjust the size of the screen, and it'll show it for a little bit. Fraction of a second. That ends pretty quickly. Really does. Idaboo. I haven't been able to figure out what's going on with it yet. That was my cell phone, doofus. You see, damn it. No, lay down. Ye fucking home. Yeah. I'll be back. It's gonna be 15 minutes to half hour, give or take. I'm gonna use the bathroom and get big white softball out. Because he's intake. Yeehaw.